Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna do a get ready with me while we talk about Sunrise and the Reaping because I just finished it yesterday and I need a debrief. I need to talk about it. Let's just do my makeup and chit chat about it because The Hunger Games is a modern day classic. I absolutely love the movies. I love the books. I love everything about The Hunger Games. It's so relevant to our time right now and I think it will forever be relevant. So I just want to yap about it. So let's just talk and get ready. Also, do you guys love my Hunger Games fit? I try to do like I never want to be in the Hunger Games. Don't get me wrong, I never want to be in there. I would probably die right away. But here's my fit. I've got my little it's serving 2013 with my green cargo jacket. I've got black on. Oh, do you see my earrings? I don't have any Mockingjays, but I do have these little birds that are like Harry Styles tattoos, but they're birds. So I thought that was very fitting. We're gonna roll with it, okay? Also, another PSA before we start. I may be talking a little bit weird because I just got aligners, Invisalign, whatever you want to call it, like the clear trays you put in your mouth. I think I don't talk weird. I think I sound fine. But when I talk fast, I feel like you can kind of hear it. Anyway, we're gonna ignore that. So let's just get into it. So anyway, let's just get into the book. I'm a slow reader, so I just finished this book yesterday. I'm in school, like I have other things to do and I'd rather just be reading all day. So I finally just finished the book yesterday and I cried my eyes out. The ending was so sad. This book was 5 out of 5 stars, 6 stars, 20 stars, whatever. This book was so good. Suzanne Collins is literally such a genius. Girl, I love her so much. Suzanne, she is a genius. Going into this book, we already knew that Haymitch's story was going to be incredibly sad. We didn't know the exact details of what happened to Haymitch in the Hunger Games and just why he is the way he is. Obviously, we have a little bit of an understanding, but we don't exactly know. And just so reading it was just, oh my gosh, it was, I feel so bad for him. His perspective of being in the games and knowing that he tried his hardest to end the games. That's literally all he wanted to do. But the thing is that we did not know that. Nobody ever knew. And since Haymitch was so just emotionally distraught and felt guilty, survivor's guilt, he just pushed everyone away and he didn't tell anybody literally anything besides the people that were there. It hurts so much seeing what he went through and what Snow did to him, and there's just so many details and things that we did not know about his life. And also, I don't know if Suzanne Collins, like, I have so many questions. I don't know if Suzanne Collins knew when writing The Hunger Games, like the backstory she had in mind for Haymitch. Like, I don't know if she had like it all written out or she had an idea of it. And then when they made the movies, when she was there on set, was she like telling Woody Harrelson and telling the executives and everything like that, here's Haymitch's story, like when you're saying these lines or whatever, or interacting with these characters, this is the type of vibe that needs to be given off? I have no clue. I just want to like pick her brain on that. Like, she obviously had in mind what Haymitch's story was, but did she know the extent? Did like she have some of that planned? I really want to know, like, before this book, did she already have it planned that Haymitch was going to try to defy the Capitol in some way? And obviously, like, all of this Covey backstory, did she know? Like, were the Covey even a thing when she was writing the trilogy? Reading this story and seeing all of the lore drops in it, we got Plutarch, Wyrus, Beatty, Effie, like, so many more. Just the origins, the Mockingjay pin, literally every Lucy Gray song in the book. This book has so much lore and symbolism and just so many tie-ins from so many different things. It's literally so crazy. Like, Suzanne Collins, her brain, I want to kiss it. She is so smart. As you can tell, I have so many emotions about this. I love The Hunger Games so much. As I've said in the past, The Hunger Games just means so much to me because I've planned so many past birthdays of mine around The Hunger Games. Like, either the movies came out on my birthday, November 20th, or a day before or a day after, so I would always go to the movies with my friends. We would celebrate my birthday while watching The Hunger Games. Also hearing that the Sunrise and the Reaping movie is coming out on November 20th of 2026, you best believe my ass will be in that seat on my birthday and I will be watching it. Oh, it's gonna be so great. I am so curious to see who they are going to have play Haymitch and just like young Plutarch. They better have Snow be Snow's actual son. His son looks just like him and he's also in his 50s, I think 58, which is the exact age Snow would be in Sunrise on the Reaping. So if they do not cast his son, I'm gonna be so pissed. I'm gonna throw hands. Like, you're kidding. It's literally written for you. It's right here. I think they will cast him because, like, it's a no-brainer, but, like, if they don't... Yeah, I'm so excited to see the cast for that. I hope they pick some new names, some undiscovered people. They can find some new talent here. I think that would be so great. Starting off the story and seeing how carefree Haymitch is, obviously within reason because he has his family to think about, but just seeing him be young and, I don't know, not seeing him be grumpy alcoholic. Like, he was young and fun and he had a girlfriend, Lenore Dove. Queen, love her. He had besties, like, he was just a normal kid. Obviously as normal as you can be in the Hunger Games and District 12. You know what I mean, within reason. But just seeing him having once been happy and in love and just, really breaks my heart, because seeing that or reading that in the beginning, I was like, no, I know what's gonna happen. Obviously I'm not saying anything revolutionary, groundbreaking, as these are all things we've all said, we've all thought. I've seen tweets and stuff about this. People who have analyzed this in depth. These are not any, like, original groundbreaking thoughts that I'm giving out right now. I just think it's so crazy that Haymitch was never supposed to be in the games. Like, he was only trying to protect his girlfriend, Lenore Dove. He got put into the games. He was not supposed to. Katniss was never supposed to be put in the games. She was protecting her sister, and Lucy Gray was never supposed to be in the games because it was rigged by the mayor. So, also what I think is really crazy, I need someone to, like, map out a family tree because it's kind of jumbled up in my brain. But Katniss's dad, Burdock, he's cousins to Lucy Gray. Is that what this is? Because everyone was saying, like, oh, she's the Covey girl. Katniss is a Covey girl. But I'm like, didn't she just learn the ways of the Covey? Like a very modernized, loose version of the Covey. Like, she knows some of the songs and she learned how to hunt from her dad. But, like, was her dad, like, full Covey? I feel like this kind of, for me, maybe got, like, a little bit lost. But if so, that's insane. Because then that means that Katniss and Lucy Gray are related in some fashion. Take that, Snow. Snow may land on top, but the sun always rises. Yeah, and don't you forget it. Don't you forget it. And then I also saw someone be like, Lenore Dove is the niece of Lucy Gray because her uncles were the brothers of Lucy Gray. So it's all connected. Like, literally, it's all connected. And I think that really, like, boggles my mind. She's just so smart. When I think of all the tie-ins of all the relationships and all these people and how they all met in the past, and then where we see them in the trilogy, and there's so much going on, and the way that she created this world that has so many layers. Do you guys hear this coming out right now, the little lisp? She created a universe with so many layers, dynamic characters, and I don't know. This is me just, you know, talking about how great she is now, but I think she's just amazing. And the way that her story, I think, is so incredibly relevant, and the way it mirrors, in a way, our political climate and the way our government could go, and so many things. I'm not gonna get into all that, but you can see it. You can see it. No, I just think it's so insane. Hats off to you, girl. I'm giving you your flowers, metaphorically. I've been putting concealer on for maybe 20 minutes because I'm just getting so lost in what I'm saying. That's okay, right? Yeah. I don't know what to do with my face anymore. I've used so many products and I don't, like, know how to clear up my skin. I used to have such good skin in high school. I want that back. I want that back. But yeah, seeing Haymitch just get put into these games when he's not even supposed to be there is honestly so terrible. But also, seeing Plutarch show up, his name show up, was literally such, like, a out-of-body experience, if you even want to call it that. I was just like, Plutarch, what are you doing here? It was so crazy. And then when we later see Beatty and Effie and, like, Mags and Wyrus, it was so insane. I was, like, flipping out, being like, oh my gosh, you guys were besties before we even knew. Like, we didn't even know how deep the lore ran. And then I saw someone tweet, they were like, so Catching Fire was literally just a reunion for everybody. But we didn't even know. Like, you're kidding me. After they get raped in there on the train, Maisie girl, don't mess with her. She is a bad bitch. I loved how fearless Maisie was. I know that she was a mean girl. She was, like, the district mean girl, and she was, like, low-key kind of rich, but in, like, District 12 standards, she was not afraid of anyone. She's like, Drusilla, I'm gonna put you in your place, girl. I'm gonna tell you that your outfit's ugly and you're gonna listen, okay? I'm not sorry about it. I was like, that's right. Get her ass. I honestly just loved how fearless she was all the way until the very end. Like, and why they became family at the end. Oh my god, that was so heartbreaking too. Why did they have to do that to them? Like, I knew they were all gonna die. Okay, I knew Haymitch was the victor and they were all gonna die, but I still got attached to them. Poor Maisley, poor Wyatt, poor Luella, poor Lulu too, poor literally anybody in the games. Like, y'all do not need to go through that. Like, for what? I like to see Caesar be put in those games. What's he gonna do? Laugh his way to the finish line? No, I don't think so. Stanley Tucci, love you, sir. Every time I think of the Hunger Games, I see him in that blue ass hair and he's just like, ha 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 ha. You know what I mean? And then also Luella being Haymitch's sweetheart. His one and only sweetheart. He was like, Lenore Dove is my love, but Luella, you're my sweetheart. That made my heart break because I knew what was gonna happen. Oh my goodness. And then in the epilogue, and obviously we already know that Katniss turns into his sweetheart and he's like, I just couldn't help myself. I didn't want to let Peeta and Katniss in, but I just couldn't help it. And then Katniss became his sweetheart. And yeah, at first he meant it like very trying to be rude to her in like a little way, a little condescending and sarcastic, a little rascal he is. But you know that the word sweetheart to him meant something deeper and something more. And a little inside joke for himself because he just wouldn't let anybody in and nobody knew that. Audience, we did not even know that. But now that we know, I'm like, he called her sweetheart. And then when they're training, I think it's so cute how Amber, oh my gosh, Beaty's son! That is sick, Snow. That is terrible. You're kidding me. Beatty had a son. We never even knew that. He died by being eaten alive by squirrels. That is insane. All that was left was his skeleton and his tracker. Reading that, jaw on the floor, I was like, you guys are sick and twisted. He was what, 10? Sick. All of you. Everyone in the Capitol, burn. Luella, she's 13. Rue, I forgot how old she was, but she was probably what, 11? I'm getting so riled up about this. It's so messed up because they're like, Beatty, we love you, we love your brain, we're gonna keep using you, but we are gonna kill off your son because we don't like that you're trying to defy us. And then after like the training session, Beatty comes to him in the middle of the night and Wyrus turns off the lights and they're like talking in the hallway and like the stairwell and he's like, do you want to take it down? We have a plan. Amber's with me. It's like a whole setup that they have and he's like, this is what's gonna end the game. Let's end the machine, which like, so sad because they try so hard to make that work and that's their plan and they feel so passionately about it, but it's just, it's not the right time for it. But, you know, like Rome wasn't built in a day. A rebellion takes a while for it to actually come into fruition. So it was all in time. It was all in time. Yes, they had plans and wanting to destroy it now, but it may have taken 25 years, but they found somebody in the right moment in time that they could make their strike, they could make their rebellion happen. And it's a culmination of so many people putting it together, and it just so happened at the right timing, the right person was Miss Katniss Everdeen. And you know what? She did that. She did that. But this also just goes to show that like there's probably so many other failed like rebel attempts that we as readers, audience in the Hunger Games districts don't know about, because the way they televise it and they take out bits and pieces that they want to reshape the timeline, reshape the story and the narrative to whatever they want it to be is so insane. And also that happens here, that happens nowadays. You see it in reality TV as like, you know, small things and they turn people into villains, but also that can very well happen with our own government. Like, not gonna get into it, but I'm just saying that can very well happen with people in control showing us what they want us to see. Also, silencing of TikTok is also silencing free will and what people can give to each other on a very clear and transparent, you know, platform. I'm not gonna get into it, but just so you know, it's very relevant for now. It's very, you know, reflective of our time. Just saying. I just think that's so insane. The whole book is so insane. It really just shows you how ruthless people could really be. Obviously, we already know that the Capitol just does not give a crap about anyone in the districts. We can see a little bit of their empathy in there through Plutarch and Effie, but very differently because Plutarch, we kind of understand. We obviously know what Plutarch does and what he does for the rebellion, but we have no clue when he kind of becomes radicalized and we are with Haymitch being like, do we trust him? Do we not? Haymitch thinks it's kind of a ploy just to get him to do whatever he wants for the camera so that he can get the footage that he needs. And he sees that when he's trying to get his family to cry, but also rewards them with being like, hey, I'll give you guys time together if put on this little act for us, if you cry for us for the cameras. And then we get Effie, who is completely different, is that she's just so brainwashed by the Capitol, and we don't even know like what the shameful thing that her grandparents did for the trinket name to kind of be like besmirched or something. Is that even the right word? But the way that she comes in and saves the day, and she's styling the tributes of District 12, she talks about how this is like such a big honor and you guys are doing it for the Capitol, but she views them with a certain level of respect, unlike anyone else that they come across with as Capitol people. Like Drusilla, she does not care. She's over here whipping Maisie for just talking back to her, and she thinks that she's some higher being than her because she's Capitol. She just dehumanizes them so much, and I feel like that's such an extreme. And then we see someone like Effie Trinket who comes in here and she's talking about how great and we should treat our tributes with respect because it's so honorable, and like it's just something good. You know what I'm trying to say? Just a little bit of empathy, and she humanizes them, and she doesn't treat them like terrible people like the rest of the Capitol does, and just for means of entertainment. It's just so refreshing, I guess, after having seen the way Drusilla and what's the other dude? I already forgot his name. Drusilla's man, the one that licks frogs, reptiles. That man is insane. And, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, and the way that they reuse the outfits every single year of the overalls. No wonder no one cared about District 12. And the way that every other district gets new, fancy, flashy outfits and they get dusty, crusty overalls every single year. Up until Cinna gave them a chance to be the new faces of District 12 in a way, to rebrand them, which is exactly what they needed, because they were looked at as, who cares about District 12? Not even underdogs, I don't even think. People just already counted them out. The genius that Cinna is to try to give them the chance, gives them fire outfits, literally. I'm probably missing and like skipping a lot of things because I'm so scatterbrained and like saying my thoughts. So if I miss anything, just know that I was gobsmacked and shook. I probably had lots of thoughts on it. I just can't think of literally everything that made me freak out, you know? But when they get, sorry, I'm going back right now, but when they go to the chariots and they're like presenting themselves for the very first time, they're so crazy with Luella. Like, you are kidding me. Luella dies from that. You people are so dumb, setting off fireworks. And there's horses. Did we forget common sense here? I don't think horses like loud noises. I'm gonna be so real with you. I thought y'all were smart in the Capitol, huh? Or maybe your brains turned to mush because you don't have to think for yourselves. And the whole thing with Plutarch inviting Haymitch over to his house and Snow is in there. He has the perfect opportunity yet again, like in the training sessions. I'm skipping around so much, but as in the training sessions, they're all holding daggers because they were throwing daggers at the wall. They all have knives, and it's like, they're all like, guys, we have the ability to take out the peacekeepers right now, but nobody does it. And that's when Plutarch comes over and he's all like, why are you so complicit to this? That line, I was like stuck on it for a good, like, I don't know, 5 minutes, whatever, just being like, huh, that makes so much sense, because they're complicit because they don't want to die. They know that if they don't follow through with whatever the peacekeepers and Snow are enforcing on them, they will die. That's pretty much it. But the very first Hunger Games that happens, but I just think it's so crazy because like from that moment, that right there was what put them into this cycle, is like that first Hunger Games. And so Plutarch asking that question to Haymitch, being like, well, you guys are complicit to this, that's why the cycle continues. Haymitch is like, dude, like what other option do we have? I just think it's so crazy because Plutarch is like, you can do something different, but it's like, what are your options? But you can be sneaky about it. I don't know, I'm going off on such crazy tangents right now and like saying so many things at once. But anyway, sorry, back to what I was saying. Haymitch has the chance to sit one-on-one with Snow, and he's literally coughing up blood because he just had a dinner with a bunch of people and he poisoned what, the oysters, the clams or something, and he's spitting up blood and all this kind of stuff, and he chugs that milk when Plutarch's like, go get me a jug of milk or whatever, that's what Snow needs. Chugs down that milk. Snow obviously saw because he gives it to him in the games with the seal on it. This conversation is so crazy and so important because he's explaining his own girlfriend to Haymitch. Like, he's explaining Lenore Dove. Haymitch is like, how does he know so much about the Covey? Like, what? And then the way he threatens him by being all like, I know that you're like most scared of the way that you die, and I can ensure that however you die, because you will die in the most painful way possible if you don't oblige. Just scaring him the most, you know, trying to get Haymitch back in line. Haymitch could have literally, I know in his small act of defiance, he didn't give him the milk and he chugged it himself, but like, dude, you could have done something. I don't know, but also he was a kid, he's scared. I wonder if afterwards, like, he just had that moment. Haymitch, I'm talking as if these are real characters or real people in real life, but they're fictional. I don't care if fictional people are real to me, but I wonder if Haymitch just kept thinking about that one moment in time when he had Snow all to himself, because he made that threat to him and talking about Lenore Dove and talking about the Covey as if he knew them, and we know that he does know the Covey very well because of Lucy Gray. It's so insane. It's so insane. And then that's when he was like, bring in Lulu. Come on, girl. Come on in. He's like, I don't know her. I don't know who she is. He's like, that's not Luella. I'll tell you that right now. The thing is they have to keep up the ruse for the Capitol people, the entertainment, because they don't know Luella died in the chariots, because what they broadcasted to people was the narrative that they wanted, and it was that everybody was alive and well and fine and the chariots went exactly the way it was planned, but they don't know that. I think it's so crazy. Like, how can you bring in a girl from 11 who you tortured? She doesn't even know her own name. All she knows how to say is, hi, I'm Luella and I'm from District 12. So crazy. And she has like this drug pump like stuck to her body in like an earpiece. I feel so bad for that girl. Poor Lulu. She did not deserve that. We don't even know Lulu's story or her real name or literally anything. So we really see him and how ruthless he becomes with the kids and the districts, and oh my gosh, dude, get over it. Get over your 4-month whatever situationship with Lucy Gray. Like, you're so obsessed with her and you just forget about her and stop being such a monster to people. Jeez, so glad she got out of that, girl. That's right, she hightailed out of there. She goes, Snow, I want no part of you. Oh my gosh, I need to start doing my makeup because I'm like forgetting what I'm doing. This is just like firing me up. Oh my gosh, I have like classwork and stuff to do, but dude, I needed to film this video. This is for my own well-being. I need to get these thoughts out. I need an outlet to tell people this. And then we knew this quarter quell was going to be a poison paradise because we read about that in Catching Fire. I feel like we don't know the extent of how crazy it is. So it's kind of like, how do they survive? How do they eat? But it's pretty much just only the food that's from the cornucopia, safe to eat. Even the animals in there don't know that. When Haymitch finds a little bunny, a gray bunny, he's like, this is my version of like a little Lenore Dove, like this is my girl. Oh my gosh. And then when Plutarch sets up the phone call the night before the games, and this is when Haymitch is like, do I really trust him because he's giving me information about which way the sun rises? And then he gets his girl on the phone, Lenore Dove. He's like, I know a peacekeeper got me in contact. And he's talking with Lenore Dove before he goes to the Hunger Games the night before. Like, Haymitch is calling Lenore Dove my girl. Like, I'm sorry, that's so cute. That's so cute, but heartbreaking because we know that they don't end up together and she ends up dead, but it's so cute. I think it's just so unbearably sad that she gets released from prison and then she goes to visit her geese. She's with Haymitch. They literally have their reunion. They come back together. The little gumdrops are there, the little candies. He's feeding them to her. And they're literally poisonous and it's too late. And then she literally dies in his arms. You're kidding me. Tears were falling from my face. My jaw was dropped. It was on the floor when that happened. I was like, this is literally how she dies. He poisons her. Snow is literally so diabolical. He's crazy. I think I'm gonna do like a little smoky eye, you know, that kind of represents, I'm gonna use black, that represents the coal from the coal mines where Katniss's father got blown up, you know, just kidding. Do you guys know that meme? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? But I think I am gonna do like a little smoky eye situation, you know? But when they're actually in the games and everything is going on, Haymitch almost dies from drinking water and he has to like eat like 40 charcoal pills, which the whole theme of this book is just poison. Quite literally just poison. Good thing Haymitch got that bag. Literally the only stuff that's safe is whatever's from the cornucopia, so everyone's fighting for that, but we only get to see Haymitch's perspective because he has a plan to fulfill. He has to go to the north. He's waiting for Ampert to show up. so that they can blow up sub A. So we see a lot of Haymitch by himself, and then we get to see him with Luella, and when he gets her with Amber, he really tries to keep him safe, but it's just too late. And Maisley, Welly, the others that he tries saving with Maisley from the porcupine, like, there's so much that he does for the newcomers, even though they kind of make him out to be an asshole afterwards when he watches the tapes. Just a rascal, that's what he was going for, but he's doing that to protect everybody so that he could go do the plan. So many layers to this. Anyone he comes across, he splits the food 50-50. He tries so hard to keep them safe, even though we already know what's gonna happen. Him and Maisley kind of becoming family and like brother and sister, and when they're in the training session and Amber's trying to get everybody to be part of the newcomers and Maisley's like twisting everybody's tokens and making necklaces out of it, Amber asks her like, will you be my sister? And then when it's just Haymitch and Maisley in the games, he's all like, remember what Amber asked you? And then she's like, sure, I'll be your sister. And then he starts calling her sis and that they're family, and it's so sad because yes, she was like the town mean girl, but when she was there in a position to keep her District 12 tribute safe, she kept her people close to her. They were allies, and she was gonna talk shit about everybody else but them. Like, she was destroying these capital bitches. And you know what? Good job, Maisley. I'm on your side. I'm on your side. I love her. We already knew that everyone's deaths were inevitable, but just seeing Haymitch and us as readers get so attached to them and hear their stories and just know that they were all in it together, but there was nothing they could do to stop the games from happening. Like, Haymitch blew up the tank. Nothing happened. Some stuff flickered, the games maybe haywired for like a couple minutes, a second, but you know, the volcano still erupted. You still had all these mutts attacking people. They were still after them. Like, he tried. It was just the wrong time. It was the right people, just the wrong time to execute this plan. It just wasn't gonna work. But what I find so crazy, and it mirrors it so well, is that they needed to find a way to end the machine and like stop the games, break the arena. And what happens in Catching Fire? Katniss breaks the arena. Okay, she shoots that arrow that lights up the sky, tears down the arena. But the thing is though, is that Katniss just did it. That was not part of the plan. They left her in the dark for the whole plan in Catching Fire. She just did it. She did it on her own accord, her own merit. It wasn't part of a bigger plan. I just think that's so crazy, is that their goal was to blow up the arena to do that, and they ended up doing it. But she did it all on her own. Their plan ended up being fulfilled maybe 25 years later, but it still happened. They blew up the arena, and that's what Haymitch and Beetee and Amber and everybody was trying to do who helped them. She just did it herself. I'm gonna take this jacket off because it is getting hot now. Okay, so I went ahead and did like a little bit of a wing smoky situation. I'm gonna try to do that on this side now. I'm just so like enthralled by this whole universe of, what is it? HGC, Hunger Games, Cinematic, CU, HGCU. That's not a thing, but I'm gonna start calling it that now. You can really see the evolution of, from Lucy Gray's games, the snakes at the very end, they know her scent, so they know not to attack her. But in this one, the 50th Hunger Games, where the mutts have the scent of the tribute that they're gonna go after. There's lots of times that Haymitch mentions that, oh, this mutt was probably created for a certain tribute, because when Haymitch was trying to get the squirrels off of Amber, they weren't attacking him, and then they run away. So Snow really learned, and he really cooked something up, that they can use the mutts as like a different strategy in the games to try to stir up more drama and, you know, try to make it more of a televised entertainment event. And then the force field at the very end, I was under the assumption that Haymitch threw the axe into the force field and then it bounced off and ricocheted, and that's what killed the other tribute. But no, the tribute was trying to kill Haymitch, threw it off, and then it ended up killing her. So Haymitch didn't even kill the last person. Like, it was Snow was the capital. Like, that's who did it. It was the force field. After he won the games, like, he was in like a mutt holding cell. He didn't even know how long he was in there for. He was probably there for like weeks on end. That's crazy. And then they put him, oh my gosh, they put him back in his apartment. So depressing. They had all their stuff left untouched from the day that they left to go be in the Hunger Games. Nobody else was in there with him besides the milk and some bread. And obviously the milk was sent from Snow. When he's there, they're playing old Hunger Games tapes on the TV. It's like randomly flickering and flashing on. He sees Lucy Gray's performance. where she's on the guitar and she's singing, and then he notices there's a man in the shadow, like right outside of the spotlight for Lucy Gray, and right as he's about to step into frame, boom, it cuts out, and he's like, wait, that man, he's doing the math. He's like, oh my gosh, that man, he must have been 18. He's probably a mentor, maybe as a tribute. He's like, the curly hair, oh, blah, blah. It's probably Snow because that girl looks covey. He puts it together. And like, knowing that he saw that, because everything of Lucy Gray was scrubbed, like everything gone. They have no recollection or anything of her. The only ones that do are maybe Mags, because she probably watched the Hunger Games. Snow, obviously. The Covey know her, because when he sees her on TV, he's like, oh my gosh, she must be Covey. Like, I know those colors and stuff, like Lenore Dove and the Covey have, you know, bright colors woven into their clothes. Little pieces of Lucy Gray are still in the Covey somehow, but then we see when we get up to Katniss, it's like the very modernized, stripped down version of a Covey girl. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. But just knowing that Haymitch saw the video of her performing on stage and kind of like put it all together, so insane. I was sitting there for a good like 5 minutes being like, what? I'm thinking I want to use a little bit of this New Moon palette from ColourPop because it has a lot of like fiery colors in it. So I'm like, I could create a little girl on fire, little something look out of this. Ooh. I kind of don't like this look, but we'll try to make it look better. Then we get to Haymitch's homecoming and tears, sobbing, crying. This whole time me reading is just me going, you're kidding. Like, you're kidding. When Snow's crowning him, Haymitch is like, I guess Snow lands on top. And then Snow goes, enjoy your homecoming. The most ominous thing ever. So now he's just like, he's freaking out. He's like, oh, okay, so everyone I know is probably dead. Got it. Lovely. So he gets home. He's still in his new suit. He's there with the coffins of all the other tributes. When he gets to 12, they tell him, get out. We don't care. They take the coffins, put it on the platform. It's 5 a.m. Nobody knows he's there. Okay? There's no homecoming party waiting for him. They send him home, I'm assuming like weeks after he's supposed to be home because they had him all like locked up. He's all like trying to walk over to his house and he's like, I smell fire. What could that be? His house is literally on fire. He tries to get in there. Burdock, everyone's holding him down. They're like, Haymitch, what are you doing home? And then they hold him down and he's like, I need to get to Ma and Sid. Everyone's like, we tried. They're dead. They're in the fire. Snow, what's wrong with you? This is the beginning of his like whole depressive life. And it's so sad because he literally just got home the same day. And all he does, Haymitch just blames himself for his family's passing. Like, no, dude, it's Snow. That's diabolical. Like, he couldn't even get a chance to say like hi to them, like literally anything. And then when he finally gets a chance to see Lenore Dove, she gets out of jail. What does this bitch do? He poisons the gumdrops. He poisons the gumdrops. He literally has her dying in his arms. In tears. So sad. He literally finally got her back. He's like, okay, well, my family's dead, but at least I have my love. I have my girl. I have Lenore Dove. Now she's dead too. We see how Haymitch turns into Haymitch. Like, the drunk, aggressive, depressive, just person. He pushes everybody away from him because he's like, I don't want anyone to be attached to me because Snow is going to kill them too. Like, he literally just gets his money and his food out the door, doesn't talk to anybody. He's just drunk. He's wandering the streets. Burdock finally shows him Lenore Dove's grave. Like, it's so sad. And then when they're in the games, Maisley mentions like, oh, your girl Lenore Dove, she has a secret, but I won't tell you what it is. Like, that's her own thing. And he tries to get Maisley to tell him, but it doesn't work, and then she ends up dead. So we're like, we don't know what the secret is. But one day when he's drunken in this alleyway, he sees like, written in orange paint on the wall is like, peacekeepers or no peace, something like that. I'll write it here, but it's like something rebelling against the Capitol, like written on this wall. He remembers Lenore Dove having like orange paint underneath her fingernails or something like that, and that was her secret, trying to rebel against the government. And like in due time it all comes into fruition. It's just so sad that they all have to pass and die in order for that to happen. Like, they couldn't have been alive to see it. Think of all the people that had died trying to make the rebellion happen. Like, I went in and just fixed some stuff up, finalized the makeup, but I went for like black on the outside, black liner, and then a little bit of fire, red, orange, yellow in the center. I don't even know if you can see it, but it is there. So now I'm gonna do lips, and we can just wrap this up. I feel like I've yapped for so long about Sunrise and the Reaping and just like the Hunger Games in general. Like I said, I could talk for hours about it. Do you hear my voice? I'm like losing my voice over this. Not really, but like I'm parched. I need some water. Dude, I have lipstick on my teeth. There's lipstick on my teeth in this. Please ignore. It's giving chaperone, okay? Sorry. Basically, me wrapping things up. I just love the Hunger Games series. I'm so excited to see if there is gonna be another book. I hope it's Finnick's story. I love Finnick or Joanna. Like literally anybody, I don't care. I will read it. I did see this one TikTok post. It's kind of like a conspiracy or something like that. But what it said was that the first trilogy is a normal Hunger Games, a quarter quell, and then the rebellion like takedown. And then the two new books we just got was Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, which is a normal Hunger Games, and then we have Sunrise and the Reaping, which is a quarter quell. And then someone said that the next book possibly that's going to be released is going to be part of this new trilogy is going to be The Dark Days, and how that rebellion first started to plunge us into the Hunger Games and have the Capitol's reign. What was the first rebellion of the Dark Days? Like, what were they trying to overthrow the first time? And that's the whole spark of a new rebellion. So I think that would be so cool if that's actually what ends up happening. I have, once again, no clue if that is, but I think that would be awesome. Either way, if there's another book, I will be reading it. Doesn't matter. I absolutely love Suzanne Collins, like I've said, basically throughout this whole entire video. This is just a love letter to Suzanne Collins here. She's not watching this, but I love you. Oh, which also brings me to the epilogue. Hold on, how could I end this video without talking about the epilogue of Sunrise and the Reaping? He finally found peace, and he got to keep his promise to Lenore Dove of finally ending the sunrise on the reaping. And you know what? It may not have ended with him, but he was able to continue playing the game, which is exactly what Plutarch was saying. He's like, I'm still in this game, I'm still in this fight. And Haymitch is like, but I have nothing else to live for. And he's like, exactly, what do you have to lose? So Haymitch kept his promise by still fighting. He was still in the game. He's like, I have new tributes every year that I can try to mentor and have them do better and try to take down the Capitol. But it finally worked. It happened with Katniss and Peeta. It happened the way it was meant to, and it happened. You know what? It took a while, but the end goal was still the same. They took Snow and his reign down, you know? And that's all that really matters. But then when we get into the epilogue, this epilogue, he finally opened up about Lenore Dove and his Hunger Games, and finally wrote in Katniss and Peeta's book about literally all of the fallen people who didn't get to see it to the end of the rebellion. It's such nice closure for this book to end off. We see him finally at peace with himself, and he has geese, a little family of geese. Oh my gosh. When he goes to see her at her grave and he's like, I love you like all fire, but it's not my time. It's so good, and I feel like it's the perfect ending to wrap up Haymitch's story. And the Katniss mention, oh my gosh, he was like, yeah, I saw Burdock's girl at the Hob or whatever, like, and then I saw her come there by herself after Burdock died, and he always kept an eye on Katniss, always saw her, and then he was like, I couldn't help but calling her my sweetheart. It's all just so cute, and I just think it's a perfect ending. I absolutely loved this book. Oh my gosh. But anyway, makeup's done. This was very good for me. I think I really needed this. I really needed to just sit here and talk about the Hunger Games and how much it means to me, how much I love it, how much I love this story. Yeah, 5 out of 5 stars. It was so good. Hope you guys enjoyed this little yap session. I know I kind of just like was on a tangent and I talked about so many things, and I talked very much out of order from the timeline, and it was a little bit of a mess, but I hope you guys enjoyed it nonetheless. Here's the finished makeup. I don't know if you can really see it all that well, but that's the makeup. I tried to do a bit of a fiery thing going on. Don't know how successful I was in that, but yeah, anyway, that's the end of this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. I think he's probably one of my favorite characters now. I ate this up. It was so good. And if you guys read it as well, let me know in the comments down below. We can chit chat about it. But that's it. Bye guys.